jacket.
Good evening. Welcome to the first meeting of the Aaron Bra Society. As we look at this august group, maybe it should be the No Bra Society. This is going to be a loose interpretation of a minstrel show. We're going to kind of do an Irish version of it. I'd like to introduce our members. First we have at this end down here is John Flynn. And next to John is Mike O'Toole. And then Patty Fitzpatrick. And Big Andy Kelly. We have Sean O'Malley. Freddie Murphy. And Mike Clancy. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Pat Flanagan, and Mike Clancy's on the end. I'm Joe Riley. I'm Mr. Interlocutor. As we start, Mr. Flynn.
Yes, Mr. Interlocutor.
Gentlemen, sit down. Mr. Flynn, you're a really smart fellow. Can you tell me the difference between regular wool and virgin wool?
Virgin wool, I would guess that would probably come from a really ugly sheep.
And you told me you knew a lot about animals. I'll give you one more chance. Have you ever seen a zebra?
A zebra. A zebra would probably be about 26 sizes bigger than an abra. That's good.
Mr. Clancy.
Yes, Mr. Interlocutor.
Supposed to use the mic. I'm new at this. Yes, Mr. Interlocutor.
Mr. Clancy, I hear your friend died and wanted to be buried at sea.
Yes, that's true, but it turned out to be a real big tragedy.
Why is that?
3 of his friends drowned trying to dig his grave.
Mr. Clancy,
Yes, Mr. Interlocutor.
do you remember that story about St. Peter in heaven?
Yes, I do, but it's a long story. 3 Irish women die together in an accident and go to heaven. When they get there, St. Peter says, we have one rule here in heaven, don't step on the ducks. St. Peter liked ducks. So they enter heaven, and sure enough, there are ducks all over the place. It's almost impossible not to step on a duck, and although they try their best to avoid them, first woman steps on one. Along comes St. Peter with the ugliest man she ever saw. St. Peter chains them together and says, your punishment for stepping on the duck is to spend eternity chained to this ugly man. The next day, the second woman, as much as she tried, she stepped on the duck. Along came St. Peter. He doesn't miss a thing, and with him is another extremely ugly man. He chains them together with the same punishment. The third woman, who's observed all this, and not wanting to be chained for eternity to an ugly man, is very, very careful. She watches every step she takes. She goes a whole month without stepping on the duck. But one day, St. Peter comes up to her with the most handsome man she has ever laid eyes on. Very tall, tan, muscular, and with good hair. St. Peter chains them together without saying a word. The woman remarks, I wonder what I did to deserve being chained to you, you handsome fellow, for all eternity. The guy says, well, I don't know what you did, but I stepped on a duck.
Fitzpatrick, with all your experience in government, can you tell us what is Irish diplomacy?
Irish diplomacy. Well, it's obviously something I'm not very good at.
That's the joke.
An Irish diplomat can tell someone to go to hell, so they'll enjoy the trip.
Hey, Hey Patty, I hear you've been talking to Father Steve.
Yeah, Father Steve has been counseling on the drinking. He said I really gotta cut down on the martinis. He said if I keep doing it, I'm gonna get smaller and smaller, and I'm gonna turn into a mouse. And I got thinking about it. I got kind of worried, but I finally realized the solution. I went and told my wife, you know, if you see me getting smaller, it's time to kill the cat and move to Kingsgate.
Fearless Freddie Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Murphy, I heard Quinn say that his wife was driving him to drink.
Yeah, it's Quinn Lucky. Man, my wife is wanting me to exercise and walk.
Mr. Murphy, I know you like to drink. Is that true?
You know why God invented whiskey?
Why is that?
Because so the ugly girls could have some loving too.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes, Mr. Interlocutor.
I heard you made a couple trips to the doctor.
I sure did. The first time I went for some tests, and the last time I went, I told him about all my aches and pains and lightheadedness and the whole bit. And he says to me, what did he say? What he told me was, due to the results of the test and my problems that I've told him about, I will probably go at any time. I said, Faith and Begor, I love that because I haven't been able to go for the last 4 or 5 days.
Sean O'Malley.
Yes, Mr. Interlocutor.
Mr. O'Malley, I heard you made a trip to see the doctor too. What was the problem?
Well, I did, you know. The doctor first, he gave me tranquilizers. But I had to stop taking them because I found out I was being nice to people I didn't even like.
I heard you also had another problem.
I really didn't want to talk about that one, but it's...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I did, and I told the doctor, I said, I've got a problem with my sex life. Could you help me? And the doctor, he looked at me and he said, sure, I'm sure, but he said it's going to cost you $30,000. But I said, well, I got to go home and talk to my wife about this. So I did, came back a week later, and the doctor says, okay, what did you find out? I said, she says we're going to remodel the kitchen.
That's it, folks. Meeting adjourned.
I gotta talk to Mr. Flynn down here.
Good talk, Mr. Flynn.
Mr. Flynn! What did Tarzan say when he seen the elephants coming? Don't you know? What did Tarzan say when he seen the elephants?
I don't know.
My teeth almost fell out that time.